Hello and welcome to viewers of Good Morning DRC TV. Today is Tuesday, the 6th of May 2025. I hope you are doing well wherever it is you are watching this today. I bring you an up-to-date on the situation in the DRC. I try my best to gather information and read between the lines and come here to explain to you what is going on in the DRC. I believe my mission is to give a call out to Congolese, primarily to Congolese, to Africans around the Great Lake, and to people who care about what goes on in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Many of you live outside the DRC. Many are concerned about what is going on in the DRC. You've heard about the atrocity, the problems, and sometimes it's because you've heard it for so long and the situation does not change up until this very moment. It has become normal for us to live in this kind of perpetual situation. The country losing our sons and daughters, our mothers, our sisters in the eastern part of the DRC. And I will keep on repeating this, that we've lost millions, over 10 million people. These are human beings. They had aspirations. They wanted to live. They wanted to experience life. But their lives were cut short by the enemies of the DRC, by those who have concocted a plan, those who believe that the DRC belongs to them, those who believe that they have the right to live in the DRC and not the people that they are killing. They're trying to take away lands from them. And the atrocity that happens there, it breaks your heart. And with all that happens in our world, these problems that has been going on in the DRC for many years, people didn't talk about it. The world media didn't care at all, because those who own the media of the world, they have vested interest in what is going on in the Eastern DRC. They don't want their citizens to understand and to know that there is a genocide going on in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Because the interest of the West is there. The US, the UK, France, Canada, the EU as a whole, they all have their interest in what is going on in the eastern part of the Congo. These are human beings. I know somebody will wish for me not to talk about this, saying, oh, come on, we've heard this. You've heard it enough that it has become normal, that we have normalized this. And every day we hear, yes, 10 more people died. They killed another 15 people here. They killed another 20 people here. The M23 did this. The IFC did this. They've killed another. So it's become normal. So when we wake up, we expect to them to tell us that they've killed 20 more people, they've killed 50 more people, and then they've taken this town. You know, not too long ago, just yesterday, the M23 of Kagame, they've taken another fishing town. While we are talking about all this that is happening in Doha, while we're talking about all this peace treaty in the US, yet only yesterday, today is Tuesday, only Monday, yesterday, they've taken another town, a fishing town, where they have basically invaded the people there and they've captured that city again. While we're doing all of this, and you don't imagine that in that sort of capturing of that city, they didn't kill people. Of course they did. And yet people don't want to talk. And then I hear some people coming on this channel here to put comment. You are talking about this. I will talk. I will say that people are being killed. People are being butchered. People are doing all this. It's not right for that to happen. No. Who's going to speak for them? Who's going to talk for them if we don't talk? We're not going to get used to it to say that it is okay now for us to shut our mouth and just basically let things happen the way they're going. No, if we continue like this, then our enemy is going to be very happy, because they like to walk in silence. They like to do things when nobody pays attention. No, it's not right. We have to speak. We have to say, we have to tell it as it is. The AFC of Nanga and the M23 of Paul Kagame in that eastern part of the region, they are killing. Rwanda's troops are still in the eastern part and they are butchering, they are killing people. This is what is happening there. And Congolese, wherever you are, as you have been doing more of it now, you need to wake up. You need to wake up. You need to understand what is going on. We have been losing people, more than 10 million already. How many of our women, how many of our daughters, how many of our mothers in that region that have been raped? How many of them? You see what they do to young children. You see what they do to young girls. Do you see that? It's not right. And we shouldn't talk about this, really. No, it's not right. God has given you a voice. You need to use that voice to speak, to denounce what is happening. It's very important for you to do that. Use the voice that God has given you. Whatever means you have, use it. Sound the trumpet, blow it, let the people know. Like somebody said to me, to tell the Congolese people. Yeah, I'm talking to Congolese people. The world knows. No, the world doesn't know. The leaders of the world do know, but the citizens of the world don't know, because they're lying to their own people. How many people do you think in the US, in France, in Canada, in the UK, in many other parts of the world, how many do you think the people, they actually know what's going on in the Congo? You say, well, why should they know? Why do they care? But who's actually doing this? Who's behind the killing? Who's behind all of this, the looting, the pillaging of our minerals there? Is this country that I'm talking about here? You all heard, I don't know if you've heard it, but when Kagame was speaking, what did he say? He said, it's not only Rwanda. Rwanda is the hundreds. That's what he said. He's a hundredth, as if to say, okay, we're not the only ones stealing them, but it's okay for us to steal. So there are countries that are actually using Rwanda to do that. And this is the US, this is the UK, this is the Canada, this is France, and all of this is cabal that has been cooked up against the Congolese people. But you know why? Because Congo is an open border. Anybody can come and do what they want. And this is what we've had. We must understand that since the 60s, it's not today. It's not Kagame who has started this thing. No, it's the plan that the imperialists is the plan that those who think this world belongs to them had for a long time to divide, to partition the Congo, and to have access to the minerals. What is this war all about? You all know it. It's about the minerals. It's about the wealth that is in the DRC. This is what it's all about. And you know how capitalism works. People don't care. If they can kill millions, they don't care. They want to have access to the minerals that we have in the DRC. So we cannot sit down and not tell the people, no, raise the voice. As when the people in those countries understand what the leaders are doing, it's very, very important, because then you begin to have access to the information, to the people, to the citizens, because those mobile phones, they sell it to their people. Those cars, they're selling it to their people. When you say mobile phone, yeah, mobile phones is because they use the raw material that is coming from the DRC to make those mobile phones. They use the raw material there for the electric vehicles. They use those raw materials to make their weapon systems, and all that they're using, they need what we have in the DRC. But there is a better way to do things. There's a better way to do things rather than killing, rather than doing all that they're doing. So none of them is going to come and say, we are the ones who are doing this. No, they won't come. They will choose a country, a proxy. They will give them what they need, like they're doing with Kagame. They'll give you money, they give you the arms you need, they give you sophisticated weapons to use. And then they won't stop you from doing it. Do you really think if people really cared, they wouldn't have stopped Kagame from doing what he has been doing in the DRC? Of course they would have, but they didn't. They let him do what he wanted to do. Then he's done that. And now, the US says enough is enough. The one who started the fire, he says it's enough. He says, Kagame, you must stop what you're doing now. Enough is enough. Now let's put an end to this one. Let's put an end to the killing. I thank God. Okay, because Trump is there. Yes, it is the US. Yes, it is so and so. But yes, Trump is there now. He says, okay, we don't want this war to go on any longer. Let's talk about peace right now. And now, when we're about to talk about peace, some people, they don't want peace. Their only way of peace is for them to take land from the DRC. Why do they want to take land again? For wealth. The wealth that they have seen, they want to keep it. They want that wealth for themselves, for their economy to work. They need what we have in the DRC. There are better ways of doing business. There are better ways of trading. There are better ways of having bilateral agreements. But what has been happening in the Congo is a tragedy. So now we're here. We want peace. Okay, the US said, okay, we want this peace to work, so we're going to make peace between Rwanda and the DRC. So, having tried to stop this from going ahead, that is, Rwanda tried to stop this, Kagame, when I say Kagame's regime tried to stop it, and then we have some people in the DRC, those who don't like Felix Tshisekedi. And Kagame, they have linked up, they have come together, they have agreed to do everything to stop this plan from going ahead. So every day here, back and forth, people are going to Washington, people are going to the White House. They're trying everything to stop this deal from going ahead. France is there to try to stop this from going ahead. And France will send people in the White House to give them information about the state of affairs in the DRC so that the Trump administration will not trust the government in Kinshasa. Now, no, there is a lot of things that have been said. They say this country, there is no rule of law. There is corruption in that country, and it's this corruption issue is the one that they have raised lately as a something that they're branding. They are really waving this in the air. Corruption, corruption, corruption in the DRC. You can't trust them. No investment there. You will lose your money. This is what will happen. There are people that they've said all of these things and they keep saying it. The lists, the names of people that have gone to the White House, why they shouldn't trust the government in Kinshasa, because they're not worthy of investment, because there is a lot of corruption going on at the moment. Is there corruption in Kinshasa? Yes, there is. There is corruption in Kinshasa. In Congo? Yes, there is. Is there corruption in America? Yes, there is corruption in America. Is there corruption in France? Yes, there is corruption in France. Is there corruption in whatever world you want to name? Yes, there is corruption everywhere. Everywhere. But I have to admit, the corruption in Congo is without limits. Is without limits. And when people are accused of corruption in the DRC, it's always in millions. Millions of dollars, not Congolese franc, millions of dollars. Can you imagine the country of that size? Over 100, we're talking about, nobody knows exact figures, but approaching 120 million people, and their budget is $16 billion. $16 billion. 60% of it goes to salaries of civil servants. What do you have left? There is no infrastructure, but yet we're talking about a country that is potentially the wealthiest country in the world. I don't know. What do you say? Yes, there are people that are stealing, that are looting, that are the pillaging. It's great, but Congo, those who are in government themselves, the sharks, they know how to steal. They know how to make money. It's unbelievable. So now, people are using this to tell the Trump administration you can't trust the Congolese government. There is a lot that is going on there. And they've said a lot of things have been said. Okay. So now, because America is very strong on corruption, or they want to stop corruption, so they want to work with the Congolese government to make sure that they deal with corruption in the DRC. Because they cannot come and invest their money where there is a lot of corruption. Like I said, there is corruption in the US. Bottom line here is this. The US wants the mineral. They will have it. They will have it one way or another. Even if it means delaying things so they can get rid of this government, they will do that. Because all that is happening right now is that people are seeking by all means to stop Felix from doing anything significant in the DRC. And this has always been the plan, that we will stop him from achieving anything. And to be honest, he hasn't achieved anything. He has not achieved anything. How can he do it when we have Joseph Kabila, who's got an army of people whose main priority is to stop Felix from achieving anything? That means if you put them in a certain position in the administration, if they're a minister of such and such department, They're there basically to sabotage whatever it is that they're supposed to do. You put them in the Ministry of Transport, they won't do anything. You put them in agriculture, they won't do anything. You put them in whatever position you put them, they will not do anything because they don't want to achieve something significant. Otherwise, that will be attributed to Felix's success. Can you see how people think? And that is crazy. Instead of thinking your country first, you are thinking a man. You're thinking, if I do this, he will get the credit. If I do that, he will get the credit. But how is that thing going to work out? How are you ever going to come out of this? Because you are there to please one man. I'm there to please my boss, Kabila. So therefore, I cannot help Felix. You think you are helping Felix. Your country is the one who's supposed to be helping. So this is what has up in his first term in office. He didn't achieve much. He didn't really achieve anything because the people who are there, they don't want him to. They're thinking that it's all his credits. Oh gosh, this situation, I tell you. Here in the Congo, we see all manner of things. I have to admit, you watch what goes on. You ask yourself, what are people? You know, people outside, they laugh at us, they look and say, Congolese people, what are these people like? It's your own country. Instead of serving your own country, you are serving a particular person. You are serving Kabila. You are serving Kagame. You are serving this person. You to your own detriment, to your own country's detriment. Why? So, and this system of impunity, that somebody who does something wrong, they don't put them in jail. Somebody who's stolen money, siphoned millions, they don't go to jail. No. If they go to jail, it's for 3 months. Somebody who's stolen $150 million, they go to jail for 3 months and then they're released. Somebody who's stolen 250, yeah, I don't know if you're shocked when I say 150 million, when I say 250 million, because that's what happens in the Congo. They steal in millions. The corruption that is in millions. You find a minister who is a responsible person for one ministry. They will siphon millions. And if they ever go to jail, it's for maybe 2 or 3 months, and then they're out. How can a country move forward? How can a country move forward? I said, I will speak. I will let you Congolese know this. Wherever you are, look, I'm here in the Congo, I'm here in Kinshasa, but I'm doing this here in English for those of you who are outside, who have gone out to live in those worlds, because you need to know what is going on here. You need to understand what is going on here. You have children. Their children, maybe they speak English, they don't speak French, they don't speak Lingala, but they need to know what is going on in their country, their motherland. This is the reason why I do this. I have a mission to look after my people, serve you with the information of our country, and awaken and help you so we can all come together, understand that we need to work together for our country to survive what is surviving now. We're going through a terrible situation here. And unless we wake up, like I said, that part of our country will go. And when it goes, they start slowly until they will achieve their mission, if we don't wake up now. So I'm putting out a wake-up call to those of you who are out there, those of you who are listening, and those of you who are here in Kinshasa. You need to know we need to wake up so we can change things. And I know when Tshisekedi is in power, one of the things I do know is this. As I've said, Tshisekedi hasn't achieved much. But I have to say, I applaud him. I'm happy with him because he had stood up against Kagame. He stood up against Kagame and his plan and his evil plan that he had for the DRC. If that's all he came to do, then I'm pleased that he has fulfilled his mission. Maybe that's all he came to do. Because the system that has been going on for 30 years had to be broken. Had to be broken. The plan, the evil plan that was conceived to partition the country had to somehow come to a halt and stop that process going ahead. And maybe he has done that because there's no one who has withstood Kagame in that region. No one has withstood Kagame in our country. Nobody's done it. But yes, Felix came and he said no to Kagame's plan. And this is why we are where we are today. And if this is all that he came to do, then let him do his time and go. 2 years is not long. He's only got 2 years left, or 2.5. And then he will go. Whoever comes after him, maybe they will start rebuilding this country. But it was necessary. It was important for him to step in and stop Kagame and what he was doing and what is happening in that eastern part. It's incredible. How can a country, your money is going to Rwanda, your money is going to, what do you owe Kagame? What should you give? What right does he have to give his approval for any military personnel or a major to make decision in the army in the eastern part of, why? What right? What gives him the right to choose people who would be taking power in the eastern part of Congo? I don't know if you watched my videos before, but I have already said that in the past, Kagame had a right, or in fact, not had a right, but he was pretty much in control of what was happening in the eastern part of Congo. He had access to the wealth, minerals there. Nobody could tell him what to do. And he gave his blessings to any general or military personnel that was appointed there. You cannot be appointed in that eastern part of Congo without him knowing and giving his approval. So for you to become a major, for you to become a general or an officer in the military, he had to give his approval. For what? How did that happen? How did we get there? But yes, it has been happening. And now, like I said, if Felix can end that, then at least we know that the system that has been going on for a long time has come to an end. Look, we're losing our people by the millions. No. Those souls of people that have died, God created them and brought them to this world for a purpose, for a mission, and they had a right just like you and me to live. They shouldn't die like that. And we as people, we cannot allow those things to happen. No. Maybe you forgot, you thought that was just their own lives and they've gone. No, it is your sister, it is your brother, it is your mother, it is your father, it is all those people that are being killed there. They are ours. And let's not keep quiet. I'll talk in the next video in terms of what is going on in this deal at the moment. I know I've just touched a little bit there, but I'll tell you the difficulties that the DRC is facing right now with regards to this deal in the next video. Thank you.